Game number 3 of the OCAA Women's Soccer Championships. This one between the host Redeemer Royals and the undefeated Seneca Sting is off and running. Redeemer now with possession. And Redeemer coming into this game with a 1-8 record. Seneca 10-0-0. Redeemer the only team that didn't have to play that crossover game as they are the host, so they got in automatically and looking to make a big splash in the OCAA tournament by knocking off the 4th-ranked national team, the Seneca Sting. Seneca trying to take care of business. It's now going to be with number 16 of Seneca, that is Kiara Pantulo. A challenging ball, and Lily Brown is going to have to run for that one. She's not going to get it, but a great defensive play that time by Redeemer's number 5, Sarah Smith, saving a sure goal. And it will result in a Seneca corner.
Well, early pressure here already from Seneca. It's going to be a tall order for the Royals today. They are the host team. They did get a bye into the tournament, but they have had some success against some pretty big teams. They've played Fanshawe, holding them almost 90 minutes to a 1-1 draw before Fanshawe was able to take away that game from them. They're lining up in a defensive manner. They need to keep the ball under control. They need to just get through these first opening minutes, give their team a little bit of a confidence, and see how many minutes they can walk through this match with it 0-0 and hope for a good bounce.
We heard it from head coach of Niagara in the early goings of the day, and I'm sure it applies for the same with Redeemer. The longer they can hold this at 0-0, the more edges in their favor, and we will see how long they can do so. Niagara held Fanshawe to 40 minutes. Can Redeemer go longer? They now have possession, trying to build their way up the pitch, but Seneca does dispossess them. It's now at the back, number 24 for Seneca, Shantae Johnson. Trying to find a white shirt that time, but nothing doing from Rebecca DeHaan. The captain, Sonia Makalova, 12 goals to her name in the East Division of the OCAA. Puts her second overall to Jade Kovacevic with her 24. Seneca lining up in a 4-3-3 formation. And we talked to the head coach early on, the head coach of Seneca. And he says this is just another game. Business as usual was his phrase. And for Redeemer, it's got to be the same thing. Do what they do best and hold this Seneca team that is potent in offense, 49 goals in the OCAA, to as little as they can to give themselves a chance.
Yeah, Lucas Sirianni, head coach of the Seneca Sting, when asked how does he feel about drawing against Redeemer, his response was that he's actually scared. He knows what it's like to play at Redeemer. He knows the types of fans that are here. He knows the type of crowd that they bring out. And this is business as usual. They may have the better record on paper, but it's just 90 minutes in a do-or-die match.
It's now with Karina Light. She's going to give the ball inside to her teammate, Ilana Anastasius. Makalova getting her first chance. Olivia Brown out to outstretch it. Makalova still has possession. Has an open shot at goal, but a great defensive effort. No goalie, but it was able to get deflected off the knee. I believe that was number 5, Sarah Smith, getting the final touch, and no Lily Brown in sight, but still the ball is not in the Redeemer goal.
Lily Brown drawn to the edge of the box, thought she could get a hand on that ball. The striker obviously just pulled it away and had a clear opportunity on net. A bit of good fortune for the Royals early on.
How long can they ride that good fortune? It is another Sting corner. That one deep into the penalty area. Going to go past everybody and out for a Royals throw-in. Seneca is able to gain possession, but not before Serena DeYoung is able to dispossess the Seneca players. Now with it is DeHaan. Leaving that is DeYoung, and instead it will go to Danica Buys. Just past her, and Jordan Burke, the first year out of Ajax, Ontario, taking the throw, a long throw by Jordan Burke. Makulova still with possession, dishes it off to Emma Genova. Back to Burke.
Redeemer coming out early, putting a lot of pressure on the ball, not allowing Seneca to really set anything up. The game doesn't quite have a clean flow yet, which could play into Redeemer's favor.
It's with Rebecca DeHaan, looking for her teammate Avery Johnston, but it will go past her, and Raven Edwards gets her first touch in the Seneca goal. DeHaan pressuring, but Puntillo will go all the way back, as will Karina Light, and back to Edwards. Edwards now to Jordan Burke on that right back. A great through ball, and with space is now number 3, Melinda Roblero. And appealing for a penalty is the Seneca bench. Nothing doing from the referee. Will be a corner instead.
I think a big question for the Royals is how long can they maintain the intensity? How long can they keep Seneca from really settling in? They've already had a few quick chances on net. They need to clean up. They need to just clean up that defense and ensure that they're not getting clean shots.
That outswinging corner is going to be deflected away, but not out of trouble, as Seneca still have possession. Another ball going towards Lily Brown. Seneca's getting another touch on it, but headed away. That was number 16 of Redeemer, Rebecca DeHaan, getting that ball out of harm's way. And another Seneca corner. That's twice that Lily Brown is being bailed out by one of her defenders.
Well, Brown's going to have a really busy afternoon. 2 really close calls in the first 5 minutes.
Another good corner by Seneca, but it will go out for a goal kick. Redeemer gets away from another Seneca corner. Rebecca DeHaan with space in front of her, but quickly on that was Puntillo. Overrunning that, number 15 of Redeemer, Alyssa Van Veen. Johnston now will go behind her, Maya Tori.
Redeemer just trying to use that negative space with their midfielders under pressure, bringing that ball back to the defense, hoping for a quicker clearance. The defense taking one too many touches, just allowing Seneca to put pressure back on. That clearance needs to come a little bit quicker, and then that can be effective for them.
Van Veen draws the foul. Will be a Redeemer free kick. Redeemer has had some success against the powerhouses in this West Division. Michael, as you said, the number 1 ranked Fanshawe Falcons beat them 2-1, and that was due to a 80th minute penalty by Jade Kovacevic. And that could have been a big point for the Royals against a very tough Fanshawe team. They've held some other opponents close. Humber they were close to in that one, 3-0 the final. But I've been told that scoreline did not represent the game as well. Makulova has some space in front of her, but Van Veen has to be sharp. And Lily Brown will scoop that up. Makulova, one of the players that Redeemer really has to watch out for. 12 goals to her name.
Makulova also playing in League One Ontario, top 20 goal scorer. She's in the semi-professional league already. This isn't the end of her career in OCAA soccer. She'll be continuing on, which a few of these players have the capacity to go to the next level, and she's one of them.
DeYoung looking for Danica Buys, finds her, but can she keep it in? No, she cannot. Just out of play. And Redeemer starting to build a little bit of pressure, but it's been all Seneca so far in the early goings of this quarterfinal matchup.
Well, I'm sure Lily Brown is thankful for the quick breather.
It's with Makalova, has a defender, Maya Tori, on her. Trying to get by Tori, does well successfully. A ground cross. Lily Brown's not able to pick that up. It's still in the penalty area. And it's going to be a shot by number 10 from Seneca, Alessia De Silva. But it'll go well above that goal. Seneca starting to build some pressure and starting to get some grade A scoring chances. Just cannot get one by Brown.
Well, that's 3 chances that almost should have or could have been converted in the first 10 minutes. Redeemer just needs to stand and dig in a little harder and take that shot away.
DeYoung and Makalova. DeYoung comes away with it. Danica Bai making that run. And it'll go right to Jordan Burke. De Silva, that one-touch play. And it's now going to be number 21, Carly Uddenberg. And it will be a foul by Uddenberg. Redeemer gets possession deep in their own end.
I do like what I'm seeing from the Royals early on. They are a team that's used to defending. They've had a lot of good score lines against a lot of tough teams. They do have some losses, but most of those losses are 1-goal or 2-goal losses, especially against teams that are really highly ranked.
Seneca certainly is a highly ranked team, 2 in the province, 4 in the country. That offside call will help the Royals out once again. 3 Seneca players look to be running onto that ball. Makalova, the one called offside. Leanna Mainders taking the free kick. Johnston has possession for the Royals. A little bit of time. She lets to go behind her to Serena DeYoung. Nice turn, but foul committed by De Silva. And now another free kick for Redeemer, this time inside of the Seneca half. Not a lot of players up for Seneca, all back. Not a lot of players back for the Royals. And a creative through ball, a flick off from Redeemer, but right into the hands of Raven Edwards. And she's able to distribute that ball right to her back line. Olivia Lamachea trying to keep that in. She does. And whips it right to the penalty area of Redeemer, but nobody is there to get control, and it will be a Redeemer throw.
3 really distinct styles of play in the games that we've seen thus far. Fanshawe coming out, a slow build, playing a possession game, playing the ball on the deck through the middle to be really deliberate about how they're feeding their strikers. The Sheridan game against Algonquin, what a gritty dogfight, and we heard that from the coaches going into it. This game's a little bit different again. Seneca's playing a little bit longer ball, looking quickly towards the net, even despite that they might be on paper favorites.
And another block will be another Seneca corner. Corner already number 5, I believe, for the Sting. Relentless pressure. Corner right in the center of the box and not taken well. It's going to go just over top of the bar. Shantae Johnson having a crack at goal.
Redeemer handling the pressure really, really well so far. About 15 minutes gone. Seneca just lacking that finishing touch, just lacking that prowess around the net to find the corners.
Makalova looking, that time it was Melinda Roblero, the intended target, but it'll go out of play for another Lily Brown goal kick. Samantha Cerro flicks that on, but right to a Seneca midfielder. That was Alessa De Silva. Still has possession. Going to go all the way back to Johnson. De Silva looking for her teammate, Lemachea. Can't find her. De Silva, the in-swinging cross, the intended target. Number 21, Edinburgh, can't get ahead on that towards goal. Still with Seneca. Now it will be a chance from number 19, that was Genova. And off the post, a great opportunity for Seneca to take that early lead, but Lily Brown in her uprights towards her right is able to save one. Seneca that close to getting that 1-0 lead.
Well, the stars seem to be aligned for Redeemer. A couple of big chances, one off the woodwork, one with an empty net, and they still seem to be doing fairly well, fairly composed, defending hard, and doing well moving the ball up the field when they can win it back.
De Silva with possession is going to go behind her. Shantae Johnson now will bring the ball out the field. She decides to kick it towards her counterpart, Makalova, but taken care of by Mainders. Now Serena DeYoung gets by a couple of Seneca Sting players, but just out of her reach. Danica Buys tries to keep that in, cannot do so. And a Seneca throw-in will come of it. Makalova now with Roblero. Roblero has time to cross, finds Makalova. And now with Jordan Burke. Again, she will put that towards the box. Lily Brown is able to come off her line and grab that.
There seems to be an urgency in Seneca's attack. They seem to really want something early on. Force Redeemer to change their game plan. Force Redeemer to have to attack. But Seneca, every ball is moved quickly forward up the pitch, looking for the next scoring opportunity.
Jordan Burke is forced to go all the way back. Raven Edwards, good with her feet, is able to control that. Distribute the ball. Gives it to Roblero. Back to Burke. Burke looking upfield. But instead right there is Maya Tori. She's not able to handle that as she would have liked, and it will be a goal kick in favor of the Royals.
Emma, position quickly! You can rest there!
Brown's goal kick intended that time for Sarah Smith. Didn't quite get to her. Jordan Burke finds De Silva. De Silva elects to go all the way back. Karina Light with it. She's going to push that up field to Lemachea. Lily Brown scoops that up before Lemachea can get a touch. Light is able to get a touch right back towards Shantae Johnson. And Samantha Cerro is going to be the first Redeemer Royals player to commit a foul. Free kick for Seneca. De Silva. Shantae Johnson. Quickly on her is Avery Johnston. Roblero, and a foul committed by Roblero, and Sarah Smith is able to draw the foul for the Royals.
Both teams really starting to settle into the match right now. Redeemer should feel good having been unscathed with a couple tricky opportunities early on. and starting to look towards the Seneca net with their own opportunities.
Edwards calls off her back line, is able to push that ahead. Torrey brings it down, but quickly swarmed by some Sting players. Udenberg finds Makalova, but Lily Brown is able to scoop that up. No harm done. Still, the score remains 0-0.
Smart defending there by the defenseman. Give your keeper a clear line to the ball. Block off that striker.
Karina Light goes to her fellow center back player, Shantae Johnson, now with De Silva. All alone and attending to chip, that was number 19, Emma Genova, the first year out of Etobicoke. But it's going to go over top of Lily Brown's net. Another grade A chance, all alone, but elects to go for the high shot instead of just placing it into the corner. And Lily Brown collects it from behind her net, and we're ready to set off with a goal kick once again. Avery Johnson tries to take that down, does so successfully, but gives that right to Karina Light. And once again, will pass amongst themselves at the back line. Karina Light, the captain of that Seneca Sting offense. De Silva trying to put one into the box, but easily picked off by Redeemer. Another Royals throw. Alyssa Van Veen finds Serena DeYoung. Looking for Danica Buys. Pushes it out in front of her. And now making that crossover run, Sarah Smith. But that pass just a little bit too far in front of her. And Seneca Sting will have a throw in deep inside their own end.
I like to see Redeemer coming forward like this. I like to see them taking their chances. They're not only sitting back. They recognize that they're against a bit of a powerhouse. They recognize that it is defense first, but that's not going to win them the game.
Scary sight for Seneca. That is Sonia Makalova, who is currently down and grimacing in pain. Appears she will be all right to continue. One of the captains of this team, as well as Karina Light. Play resumes, excuse me. Now with Karina Light. Alessa De Silva. Jordan Burke, or excuse me, Shantae Johnson, looking upfield. Finds Burke, but quickly picked off by Mainders. And a chance now, and a late offside call. A late offside call. Redeemer thought it was a goal, that they were ahead.
Good calls by the referee there. The fans were obviously excited, but she was clear at the time of the pass, a stride or two behind the defense. The Redeemer already celebrating, really excited, eager for that type of opportunity, but they're just going to have to wait for the next one.
DeHaan's the first one to that. Free kick by Edwards, but Seneca is able to get it once again. Makalova. And Lamashia not quite on the same wavelength. Lily Brown says thank you very much, and we'll pick that up inside her penalty area. Brown looking for Klompmaker.
Referee calling the play dead immediately there. Fourth official seeing that there's been a bit of a head contact. New rules to protect the players. Any risk of a head injury, player must be checked out by a trainer.
It looks like Clawmaker will be subbed out. Coming in for Redeemer will be Aaron Stroke.
And for the Royals, number 13, Aaron Struck.
Van Veen with it on that right side, looking towards Mainders. Mainders and Torrey not quite communicating as they should at that back line. Almost gets picked off, but Redeemer nonetheless does get a chance upfield. Now it's DeHaan away to the races. DeHaan is going to get blocked out by Karina Light, one of the top defenders in this tournament. And now it's Lamashia who's going to get a chance of her own. Lamashia is going to go well wide. Lily Brown cut off the angle well, and nowhere for Lamashia to go. Counterattack by Seneca almost led to a goal after a great opportunity for DeHaan on the other side.
Well, that's fantastic end-to-end football. Redeemer recognizing that they're going to get some chances and they're going to take them. Having one called back, having a second opportunity within 2 minutes for a chance on net. Seneca collecting the ball and moving it forward. This is the type of attractive soccer that we want to see today.
Serena DeYoung has it, has a couple of Sting players swarmed around her. She's looking for Stroke, but it's just going to be past her. Lamashia still has possession, being guarded by Van Veen. Avery Johnston unable to go to the intended target. Van Veen finding DeYoung quickly on hers to Silva. De Silva will get it once again. De Silva looking for Roblero, but a great defensive play by Sarah Smith.
Seneca continues to move the ball quickly, maybe perhaps a little bit more quickly than they're used to or that they would want to. Redeemer's game plan is to close them down. Don't give them the time on the ball. Don't allow their skill to set up any plays. Keep it a little bit chippy when Seneca's got the ball. Win it back and counter.
Jordan Burke, the long throw in deep into the penalty area. Lily Brown has to reach up and grab that. She's ready to go once again. Rebecca DeHaan, the lone striker up top for Redeemer. Puntillo going to go all the way back to Raven Edwards. DeHaan chasing. And Puntillo now with space in front of her. Stroke giving chase on Puntillo, but she is able to find a teammate in Carly Edinburgh. Rebecca DeHaan is going to be caught offside. Second offside against the Royals.
The grandstands were a little bit more vocal about that one. That was a little bit closer than the last call. It's still great to see Redeemer getting those chances. They need to start converting those chances into opportunities on net. Seneca's had 13 chances on net so far, and Redeemer technically hasn't had any on the score.
Shantae Johnson is Roblero. Now Jordan Burke joining the offense, the right back for Seneca. Sarah Smith will get a goal kick for Redeemer, hitting it off of the Seneca attacker.
Tighten up back line, stay tight. Jordan, tuck in. Tuck tight to the back line.
It's going to be a foul committed. And it's going to go against Seneca for a Redeemer free kick. Still a 0-0 in this one between the undefeated Seneca Sting, 4th ranked nationally, and the host Redeemer Royals. Redeemer has possession at the middle of the field, and Danica Bides is now away behind Jordan Burke. But Burke is able to outrun her and get possession and just hit that out of play for a Redeemer throw.
It's great ball movement by the Royals. They have really good vision of the field. They're not going to have the ball as often as Seneca in this game, but when they get it, they're maximizing those opportunities to get some sort of chance at developing a scoring opportunity.
Maiatori is not able to keep possession, just kicked out, and Lily Brown will meet the ball before it hits her penalty area. Elects to bring it back in and use her hands. Van Veen's throw given to Dehana will be
The second one went off of her.
Lamashia against Van Veen. Is able to go all the way back to Puntillo. Puntillo to Shantae Johnson. Johnson with space. Finds Genova. The pass to Puntillo a little bit weaker and almost getting picked off by Stroke, but Seneca does retain possession. Makalova given an opportunity, but Cerro defends that well. Makalova not impressed with the call from the referee, giving a goal kick.
Let it go for a reason.
Well, over the 30th minute mark here, Coach Dowers from the Royals must be pretty happy with the team's performance thus far. They've weathered a couple storms, but they've also been able to develop some scoring opportunities. Seneca's touches on net just haven't been quite clean enough to take those scoring opportunities and convert into a goal. If this maintains, Redeemer's going to be really, really happy with this first half.
De Silva looking at goal, but her final touch just not good enough to give her a shot. Seneca does reclaim possession after the clearance by the Royals. Roblero finds Jordan Burke making that crossover run. Burke, the outswinging ball, looking for Lamashia. It will be another corner for Seneca.
You have to give you 10, relax.
And a ball that got by everybody is going to be cleared out by the back line of Redeemer. But Seneca again has possession inside the attacking area. De Silva looking for Roblero on that far side, and that's going to go well past her.
Shift the cross red, let's try and win it higher.
Not in any rush is Sarah Smith to get that ball from the throw-in and get play resumed. Now with Sonia Makalova. Trying to find Burke. It hits off her, but she does keep possession at her feet. And it's going to be a penalty for the Sting.
That's unfortunate for Redeemer. They've done so well in this opening 35 minutes or so to weather the storm. They've defended well. It just looked like a bit of a chippy foul, not deliberate, but again in the box.
Alessia De Silva is the one elected to take this PK for Seneca. De Silva's penalty is going to be wide of the goal.
Well, if the story of the first half so far is Seneca not quite having that finishing touch, not to hit the net for striker, with a penalty shot. It's not excusable. Seneca needs to clean this up if they want to take this game away from Redeemer.
The head coach of Seneca did say he was scared of this game, and he might be a little bit more scared knowing that it's going to be tied in the 35th minute as it is currently in a missed penalty for Seneca. Lemashea has lots of room on that left side. Lemashea still with possession. A great ball to Roblero, but it's going to be offside. Good vision that time by the midfielder, Lemashea, but just a tad too early is Melinda Roblero.
Well, every minute played and every storm weathered that Redeemer is capable of getting through, you gotta get the sense that it's feeding their belief that they're capable, feeding their belief that they can stand up to a team like Seneca, hold them to a 0-0 draw, and potentially get a bounce when their opportunities come.
Lemashea still has possession. He elects to go behind her. Puntillo now to Shantae Johnson, the center back. And given all the way back to Lily Brown. Brown hesitates to go to that ball. He elects to run for it, makes the right decision, has it in her hands. Brown has been called upon heavily in this one, but hasn't had to make too many of her big saves. Her biggest saves have been made by her defenders. It will be a Redeemer throw on that far side. Sarah Smith issuing her teams to get up. Rebecca DeHaan is now the lone striker after Kirsten Klompmaker had to go off for a head-related injury. Sonia Makalova stops, gets by Maya Tori. Manders gets enough of it, not all of it, but enough to get it out of the penalty area. Now it's with Aaron Stroke. DeYoung with a heavy touch and easily taken his Karina Light. Makalova having a try at goal. Gets blocked by Redeemer. Now it's with Serena DeYoung getting guarded by Makalova.
Olivia, don't come back. Do not come back. Keep them in. Tanya, leave that. Push higher.
Another Seneca throw. Whipped into the box, but right to the foot of Serena DeYoung. Looking for teammates, and she found one. Danica buys, and that heavy touch is going to end that attack by Redeemer. Now Jordan Burke, the right back, making a offensive push. She's able to whip that into the box. And that heavy touch by Emma Genova is enough to put that attack to rest.
Yes, you can come here. What number are you? 7? What number are you taking off? 19. Thank you.
Makalova flicks that on, but nobody is on the receiving end of it. Now Serena DeYoung looking for a stroke, but it gets blocked by De Silva. Still with Makalova, makes a couple of moves. And it will be a Seneca free kick in a promising area. It looked like Makalova still had possession, but referee blew the play dead.
Let's get one here, Red. Let's get one here.
Redeemer defending with numbers here, as expected, as they have for the first 40 minutes of the match. So far, it seems to be quite effective for them.
A four-person Redeemer wall. Two red jerseys are directly in front. It will be Makalova taking it, and it'll be blocked by the wall. Makalova elects to have it once again, blocked that time by Sarah Smith. Jordan Burke, and a missed touch by Burke will give Redeemer a throw-in. Intending for Serena DeYoung. That heavy touch once again by Rebecca DeHaan is going to give Seneca possession, but a through ball intended for LaMachia is going to be taken outside by Redeemer.
Redeemer just applying enough pressure at the right points. They're not everywhere, but they are definitely in the right places at the right time. Their defense are really condensed at the back, not allowing anybody to get sucked out of position. And it seems really disciplined. It seems really organized. And
Juliana Calamari.
Seneca making their first substitution. Juliana Calamari coming in, replacing number 19, Emma Genova. LaMachia looks at goal, and Lily Brown will let that go by. Another goal kick.
Well, 2 games ago, when I started to say around the 41st, 42nd minute that we might see a 0-0 draw, 30 seconds later, Fanshawe went down the field to pop theirs in. What Redeemer really doesn't want here, after putting all this great effort in, is to concede in the last few minutes of the half. They want to get through the half, regroup, and allow their coach to tell them that they're absolutely capable of taking this game back to Seneca.
DeYoung still with possession in a attacking position, but that's going to go right to the feet of Shantae Johnson. Johnson finds Roblero. Roblero looking that time for Calamari, but instead it will go to Redeemer. De Silva can't handle that. Go right to Serena DeYoung. Serena DeYoung with space, but quickly on her is Roblero.
DeYoung just needs to move that ball a little bit quicker. There's a few options. Cut it back on either side.
LaMachia gets by a couple of Royal players, but on her right away is Rebecca DeHaan. She's going for goal, and it'll be a foul. A yellow card, it looks like, is going to be pulled out. LaMachia, a lay tackle on the ankles of Rebecca DeHaan, and the referee quick to pull out that yellow card.
DeHaan having the ball there, nearly being through that second line of defense. I'm a little surprised to see the ref not play advantage. She could have been through on a scoring opportunity.
All bunched up on that Seneca 18-yard line. Serena DeYoung's free kick is going to go right into the gloves of Raven Edwards. She distributes the ball right away. Now Seneca have numbers. Samantha Serro just decides to put that out of play. Quickly on her was Edinburgh. Makalova goes all the way back to Shantae Johnson. Johnson looking for Jordan Burke. Burke, her cross is going to be well above the net. And Lily Brown, once again, will have a goal kick.
Once again, the pre-game stats are telling us Seneca should walk away with this. The in-game stats in terms of shots and opportunities on net, 20-1 for Seneca, should tell us that Seneca can walk away with this. But Redeemer's the only team to have put a ball in a net. It was called back for offsides, but you have to wonder if there's a Cinderella story coming.
As we said before, the longer that Redeemer can hold us at 0-0, the better they have to feel and the more concerned Seneca should feel. It's now with Johnson. Just a single minute of added time, so we're nearly at that halftime break. Stroke finds DeYoung, but that heavy touch is going to be gobbled up by Shante Johnson, and it looks like it will be DeHaan called for grabbing Johnson. DeYoung in the middle of a couple players will draw the foul.
Bit of a makeup call there. Tough call and a 50-50 ball earlier on went Seneca's way. Ref looking for that first opportunity to make it right.
Sarah's free kick. It's going to go all the way through, and Alyssa Van Veen might have an opportunity, but first to it is Raven Edwards. And halftime is going to be called by the referee. Redeemer is able to keep it at 0-0 between Seneca and Redeemer. And as we said before, if April Dowes, the head coach of Redeemer, was told that you're going to be tied with Seneca after 45, she would take that in a heartbeat, and that's where they stand. We will be back with more women's soccer action. The second half of this third quarterfinal, Redeemer Royals and the Seneca Sting. The second 45 in just about 10. Simon's looking for Makalova. It's now going to be Uddenberg racing after it. Maya Tori the first to get to that one, though. Van Veen. A nice turn, gets by Uddenberg, but to Tori, who's in pressure. It's going to be a Seneca free kick and in a dangerous position. Maya Tori the one committing the foul, and right to the ball, number 4, Olivia Lamacia. Lamacia's free kick looks to be going for goal, but Lily Brown is able to get a piece of it. And another corner for Seneca.
Come on, Red! Come on, Red! Let's go, Red! Let's go, Red!
Seneca coaches pleading with their players just to dig 1 ounce deeper to try to find the end of that ball, try to find that opportunity. But Redeemer once again just finds himself in the right place at the right time to relieve the pressure.
Lamacia, her cross, he's going to be blocked by Van Veen, out for a Seneca throw-in. Foul drawn by Serena DeYoung. Redeemer has a free kick inside their own zone, trying to build a little bit of momentum. Not really anything going so far in half number 2. It's been all Seneca so far, but once again, Redeemer has been able to weather that storm, and every minute passed by is a minute closer towards a 0-0 draw heading towards extra time, but Raven Edwards is able to get a piece of that. Johnston goes back to Mainders. Mainders looking for stroke. Cerro, but that will be well offside by Rebecca DeHaan. She knew it right away. Flag went up pretty quickly. Easy decision. Probably the easiest decision that linesman will have to make in this game. With it is Karina Light. De Silva. Johnson. Finds Roblero. Players calling for it all across that attack line of Seneca, all making that forward run. No diagonal runs. Tough ball for Roblero. Onto that quickly is Lamacia. Van Mee tries to make a move, but bailed out that time by Stroke.
Just about 35 minutes to play in this quarterfinal OCAA championship do or die match. The first semifinal has been decided already. Fanshawe will face off against Algonquin.
Sheridan.
Against Sheridan. Thank you, Zach.
And off the outside of the goal, a shot that time by Jordan Burke just grazed the post. And Lily Brown is going to be thankful for that one.
The winner of this game due to face either Humber or Durham at the 5 o'clock quarterfinal match. Semifinal games are on Friday.
Mainders, her free kick. Looking for Van Veen. It's going to be just out of her reach. Seneca, another post. They've hit 2 today and a missed penalty. De Silva, guarded by DeYoung. Shantae Johnson finds De Silva. De Silva is going to go to Melinda Roblero. Danica Bai is trying to make a move down the left side. So now with Avery Johnston looking. Sarah Smith is on the receiving end of a tough challenge. She will commit. Or she'll draw the foul, excuse me.
Redeemer with a rare opportunity here, bringing men forward.
Smith, the ball is going to be off of a Seneca player, and Redeemer will get their first corner of the game.
Well, the cliches ring true, but Redeemer really needs one opportunity. If Seneca's having 20, 30 opportunities on net and not converting, all Redeemer needs to do is defend, get in the right position. Lily Brown, the keeper's getting a lot of touches. If Redeemer can just get one good bounce, it could turn out to be that home Cinderella story.
The corner taken, and a threatening one for Seneca, but it's going to be defended well. Now it's going to be a shot taken by Danica Buys, just over top of the goal. That could have been the chance for Redeemer, just over top of Raven Edwards' net. De Silva grabs it in her own penalty area, goes to Roblero. With space, finds De Silva once again. Avery Johnston looking for DeHaan, a little bit behind her, and Seneca gets possession. Carly Uttenberg is past the Redeemer defense, but is not able to get it. Lily Brown puts it out of play.
Great defensive effort by Redeemer to get back. Seneca looked like they may have been through there.
It's with Alessa De Silva. Jordan Burke gets it on that far wing. She's going to go into the box. A ground cross this time, and just off the foot, and it's going to be a goal for Seneca.
Well, I don't know if it was a story of if or when, but Seneca's pressure over and over and over, relentless waves. You had to expect eventually that they were going to break through.
A massive goal for Seneca, and a monkey off of their back. They were waiting for one. Relentless pressure, as you said, and they got it. A big goal just past Lily Brown. Nothing she could have done about that. And missed the first touch of Maklova. But putting that one away was Uttenberg. It'll be a goal kick for Seneca. And now Redeemers start to put pressure on the Seneca team. Now they've given up one. They have to nod this back up. It's been all Seneca so far. We've seen a little bit of pressure against the Sting.
Number 21, Carly Uttenberg.
De Silva gets by the first Royal player, just gets by Serena DeYoung as well. And a great ball. Uttenberg is the way to the races. Uttenberg looking for number 2, but a great defensive effort that time by Maya Tori is going to take a goal away from Uttenberg. That attempt will go well wide, looking for Uttenberg at the top.
Well done, Red. Keep pushing. Be aware.
He's just upset that no one told him to warm up on the grass last night.
Lily Brown set to take the goal kick for the Royals. A handball called against Redeemer gives Seneca possession of free kick inside the Redeemer third.
Redeemer just needs to recompose themselves here. They're only 1-0 down. They've weathered many of storms. What they don't want to do is see Seneca get another quick one. Coach Dowers will need to start to think about what changes she can make to provide a little bit more offense for this Redeemer side.
Once again, from that position, it will be number 4 for Seneca, Lamacia. Her shot's going to be blocked by the wall. Lamacia will get it once again. Now to Silva, looking at goal, but that's going to go well wide, and Lily Brown will race to get that ball back in play.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how that one goal changes the dynamic of the game. Does Seneca think that they can start to do they start to feel safe? Do they start to hang back? And does Coach April Dowse, does she fundamentally change the game plan?
Danica buys the intended target, but right there, that time was Jordan Burke. DeYoung trying to get by De Silva, cannot do so. DeYoung still with possession. 3 Sting players right around her, dispossessed. And now Johnson looking at our options.
Arena, play. Play again, Shante.
That pass a little bit too light to go to her teammate, number 6, Karina Light. But it does get in towards that Redeemer end. Seneca still with possession. Makalova draws a foul. Sarah Smith going to have a conversation with the referee. Karina Light elects to take this free kick. A threatening ball for Seneca, and off the frame of the goal, the 3rd post of the game Seneca has hit. 1-0 right now, but it could be a lot worse for Redeemer. Another post.
Wow, 3 times off of the woodwork. There's no arguing that this game could be much more wide open from a scoreline perspective. Yet Redeemer hanging in there, hoping to weather the storm a bit longer and try to transition up the field. They're moving the ball really well when they can win it back.
That pass just out of the reach of De Silva does reach Makalova. Now back to De Silva. Looking for Burke, but instead stolen by Sarah Smith. Buys. Looking for DeHaan, but right there was Shante Johnson.
Next time, Amanda?
Now with Simons, back to Johnson.
Yes.
Karina Light looking for her fellow captain, Makalova. Unable to reach her. DeYoung and De Silva battling it out once again. De Silva wins that one, but she will give it right to Maiatori. It's now with Sonia Makalova. 12 goals to her name in regular season play in that East Division. And another free kick in a very threatening area for Seneca.
As we expected, it looks like the Redeemer bench is warming up. Coach Dow is likely to make some changes, realizing that they're down by 1, realizing that that's not going to do it and that's the end of their season. A win today for Redeemer would likely be the furthest that this team has gone to the Final Four in Ontario.
Redeemer actually does have 1 silver medal to their name. Back in 1990 is there 1 medal in these championships. That free kick, easy pickings for Lily Brown. She will scoop that up and put that upfield, looking for Danica Buys. Now with Sarah Smith trying to make a move. A good tackle by Shante Johnson. Substitution. Rebecca DeHaan, the lone striker up top, will have a seat on the bench. Make way for number 2, Naomi Feiche. Intended for Buys, but Jordan Burke has a play on that. Buys trying to get a piece of it. And Burke will shield that away and give it to Raven Edwards for a goal kick. Alia Simons finds Makalova, back to Simons. Makalova still with it on that left side. The intended target, Olivia Lamacia, was not quite able to retrieve that ball. Will be another Redeemer throw deep in their own end. Cerro finds Johnston. That return pass to Cerro gets blocked, and now Seneca on the attack once again. Van Veen and Uddenberg in the corner with a battle. It will be a Redeemer throw. Uddenberg not happy with the non-foul call. DeYoung draws another foul for Redeemer. Possession in their own end once again. Now about halfway through the second half. They got to start getting numbers up front. They got to start getting some pressure. We've already seen one change. Maybe some more to come for the Redeemer squad. Torrey hesitates a bit, and that little bit of hesitation, Makulova can pounce on that. Seneca gets possession. De Silva back to the center back to Shante Johnson. Now to the right back, Jordan Burke. Burke gets by Danica Buys. Smith is quickly on that, is able to push that out of play. The long throw of Jordan Burke into that Redeemer penalty area. Threatening ball. And in the net. It looks like Carly Uddenberg is the one celebrating the goal. In that throw of Jordan Burke, always threatening. Anytime you're inside that Redeemer third, it seems that there's an opportunity for a ball in the box, and that's exactly what happened. And Carly Uddenberg was able to convert.
Well, it's a bit of Seneca getting their dues. They've had so many chances on net. They've applied so much pressure. It's unfortunate on the Redeemer side. They've stayed composed for more than 75% of this match. They've been really disciplined in defending. The trick now is the psychological battle. Do they believe that they can dig deep and come back?
And if they were to come back, now would certainly be a good time to get the goals. Teams seem to be most susceptible for that reverse goal after they scored. A few minutes after is usually when the pressure can sway. See if Redeemer can get something going in the next couple minutes. Instead, it'll be number 7, Juliana Selamere on the outside. Defended by Sarah Smith and defended well by Smith. Finds her teammate Johnston. Johnston with space. Looks for Danica Buys. And a late challenge. Jordan Burke is likely getting booked for this.
No hesitation there by the referee. Really, really irresponsible foul. Officials on it really quickly. The player is down, and she does appear to be suffering from that foul.
Reckless challenge that time by Jordan Burke. She knew it right away. So did the referee. No hesitation. Danica Buys still on the ground in a lot of discomfort.
Trainer just making sure to take her time. player now getting up to her feet. Well, the question is now, what can Redeemer do in the final 20 minutes of this match?
Serena DeYoung is going to be taking the free kick, whipping that into the box. Nobody there for Redeemer to retrieve it. Easily defended by Seneca. And now some numbers for Seneca. Offside, Juliana Selamere.
Good clearance, Shante. Well done. First time. Runners.
Mainder's free kick is again easily defended by Seneca. Makalova chips that ahead, but right to Mainder's once again. Melinda Roblero has space in front of her. A ground cross, but Mainder's right there, and she will hit that out of play for a Seneca throw. This is right around where they got their most recent goal. Jordan Burke has that long throw. Samantha Cerro is using the safe play and putting it out for another Seneca corner.
Yeah, despite being 2 goals down, Redeemer is maintaining a really strong defense. Seneca having scored 49 goals this season versus Redeemer's 6. It's a tall ask coming into the match. Both teams knew it, and Redeemer's been extremely disciplined to hold the scoreline to 2.
Burke's throw is going to go well past the intended target of Roblero. Now is Sarah Smith. Smith finds Cerro. Sarah looking for DeYoung, quickly on her is Light. Van Veen now with it on the right side. Simons defends Van Veen, and now Seneca have possession once again. That pass intended for Makalova, just ahead of her, and offside called against the Royals.
Both teams now getting players ready to make some substitutions. You can hear the Seneca coach on the side saying, safety first, let's get this over the line, let's lock this down, clear your lines, organize your defense, and you got to expect Redeemer to, knowing that the gap is only 2, to try to start to push, see if they can get one and make the last moments of this match really interesting.
Simons with it still, looking for Makalova, not quite reaching her, and Mainers is able to clear her line. Cerro intercepts that pass. Looking for Serena DeYoung. She's going to have a go, but it will be taken quite easily by Raven Edwards. DeYoung slow to get up.
Another Redeemer player down receiving treatment. She seems to be getting back up to her feet.
Serena DeYoung seems to be okay. Looks like she's set to come back onto the pitch when she's ready. We are ready to resume here. Shantae Johnson has possession. Roblero with the sting. Roblero looking for Selamere. Manders has a step on Selamere and able to put that out of play. Three different substitutions. Two for the Royals, one for the Sting.
In for the Sting, number 12, Faith Metcalf Semina. And in for the Royals, number 16, Rebecca DeHaan. And number 19, Kirsten Clubmaker.
Another throw by Jordan Burke in the box, handled by Manders. Now Sarah Smith has to get rid of it. Does. Danica Buys looks for Serena DeYoung. DeYoung finding Rebecca DeHaan. Going back to DeYoung, but instead it will be going to Johnson, who gives the Sting possession once again. Uddenberg chasing, trying to get goal number 3. Cannot, because Lily Brown takes that in the penalty area. Van Veen trying to get ahead on it. It will go off of Simons, but back to Van Veen. DeHaan giving it back to Van Veen, making a run on Alias Simons. Redeemer throw in deep in the Seneca end. DeHaan back to Van Veen, looking for Avery Johnston. Offside against Redeemer. Seneca quick to resume play. Melinda Roblero. Raven Edwards has to get that out of her own zone. Lamacia looking for Selamere, but another great defensive play, that time by Elisa Van Veen. Selamere against Van Veen once again. This time Selamere does have a step on Van Veen. Trying to make a move and still has possession until Serena DeYoung is able to clear the line. Rebecca DeHaan and Alias Simons having some extracurricular activities. Foul is going to go against DeHaan. In a conversation with both DeHaan and Simons. Karina Light's ball is going to be picked up by Lily Brown easily. And no wasting time for Lily Brown. She is hitting that right away, and away to the races now for Redeemer. But it will be Raven Edwards scooping that up, giving no opportunity for the Royals.
It's great to see Redeemer starting to get that ball forward a little bit more often. Seneca might be holding back, trying to protect the 2-0 scoreline. But the Redeemer strikers just are struggling to find the pace against how quick this Seneca defense is to find a hole to break through.
Uddenberg draws the foul.
Redeemer fans, not a quiet bunch. Right or wrong, they're eager to voice their opinion in favor of the home Royals.
And a head ball goes to Lily Brown, but giving chase that time with Faith Semania. Danica buys that touch a little bit too heavy, but able to get it is Avery Johnson. No foul. Still in the middle of the action is Johnson while on the ground. LaMacia. Jordan Burke is swarmed by a couple of Royals players, able to find her teammate Shantae Johnson. A great ball now to Roblero. Mainders elects to go far side and out of play for a Seneca throw-in.
Some really smart ball movement there by Seneca. Defender under pressure, hearing her midfielder call back, switch the ball now, clearing the pressure and quickly transitioning the ball back up the field for an opportunity.
Johnson with space in front of her. Elects to go towards her right to Jordan Burke. Mainders. Her touch is going to go right to the foot of LaMacia, but it will be a foul against LaMacia, giving Redeemer the ball. Intended for Van Veen, going all the way back. LaMacia has to make a play, and Lily Brown making sure she knows that. Udenberg just bringing that to the corner, taking time off the clock. A Redeemer throw-in ensues after that, just 10 seconds off the clock from that play by Udenberg. Roblero looking for an opportunity. Avery Johnson quickly on her, but Serena DeYoung dispossesses her and now has space. Trying to get by. LaMacia cannot do so. De Silva back to Roblero. And a great ball. Selamere has lots of space on that left side. She's going to have a going well over top of the net. A clear opportunity for Selamere. And what probably should have been 3-0 is just an opportunity and a goal kick for Redeemer. Cerro doesn't get the touch that she wants, and Olivia LaMacia will shooing right into the hands of Lily Brown.
You can see a little bit of the psychological game starting to set in for the Royals. With under 6 minutes left, the 2-goal mountain is going to be a tricky one to climb. Seneca's opportunities when they're getting the ball forward seem to be a little bit easier. Redeemer needs to dig in and see this out. It's a very respectable scoreline, and they still have a chance to bring a 1 or 2 back.
Maya Tori draws a foul from Selamere, and Selamere seems to get a last laugh. But nothing doing, says the referee. Just a quick conversation, and let's get going once again.
Great job by the officiating so far today in all of the games. Right on top of the plays. Very few opportunities for coaches to come out and challenge.
A quick throw by Simons is going to go all the way back to Light, who will go all the way back to Raven Edwards. To Johnson. The Royals now starting to press, have numbers up front, giving the Sting nothing. Simons tries to bring it down herself. She does, but not until Van Veen has possession. Mainders. It's now a Simonia. Simonia looking for Udenberg. Serena DeYoung trying to turn her defender, cannot quite do so. Sam Cerro, the intended target. Now it's with Sarah Smith. Alessia De Silva intercepts that pass and looks upfield, decides to go all the way back to Raven Edwards.
Seneca obviously starting to shift the strategy, starting to shift the game plan, play possession, close out these last 5 minutes. Looks like the coach is looking to make a couple small last changes to the lineup just to shave a few more seconds off of the clock.
And Semenya is past the last defender, makes a cut on Mainders. Looking for Udenberg and finds her. Udenberg gets her third of the game. And that makes it 3-0 for Seneca. 3-0 Udenberg over the Royals currently.
Third goal scored for the Sting by number 21, Carly Udenberg.
And as soon as she gets that goal, she is getting summoned to the bench. And that's her reward. She gets the rest of the game off. Carly Udenberg with 3 in this game, certainly leaving her impact. Coming on to replace their number 20, Vanessa Gulu.
A couple changes here by Seneca, shaving as much time as possible off of the clock.
Coming in for the Sting, number 19, Emma Genova, and number 20, Vanessa Gulo.
And now the Royals really pressing down to get that last push. DeYoung against Simons. It will be a goal kick, says the referee.
You two hold.
Another substitution. Number 2 coming into the game, Camille Goulet for Jordan Burke.
In for the Sting, number 2, Camille Goulet.
Rebecca DeHaan has an opportunity. And it'll go well wide of the goal. Raven Edwards receives that for the goal kick.
We need relief.
Seneca still maintaining that 4-3-3 lineup. Not changing the game plan at all.
It's now with Karina Light going back to her goalkeeper, Raven Edwards. Looking for Johnson. That heavy touch goes right to the foot of De Silva. Now it's with Gulu. Gulo. And Lily Brown is able to get a touch on that one. And it will be a Seneca throw.
Well, there's a lot to be said of how Redeemer approached the game, stuck to their game plan, was able to hold off Seneca for most of the match, really. The firepower that Seneca has on their team is so impressive. Redeemer stayed composed. Their back line worked together. They stayed compressed. They didn't allow themselves to be drawn out of position at all. The scoreline could have been a lot worse. Seneca has the capability of really opening up teams, but
it's now with De Silva. De Silva at the top of the penalty area finds Semenya. Semenya gets by Sarah Smith. The low cross intended for Gulo. Foul committed by De Silva. We're in the final 90 seconds of this one. Seneca currently up 3-0 on the host Royals. Cerro. Right to the foot of Karina Light. Serena DeYoung looking for Danica Bies. Cannot find her. Now it'll be Semenya. She has space inside the penalty area. Elects to take the shot, and goal number 4 for the Seneca Sting as the substitute. Faith Semenya is able to get one by Lily Brown. And Seneca, if they hadn't before, certainly puts this one to bed. 4-0 to score.
Goal scored by the Stings, number 12, Faith Metcalf-Semina.
Cerro still with possession, looking for Johnston. Gets dispossessed right away, and now Seneca on the attack once again. The referee calls an end to this game. 4-0 Seneca win over the host Redeemer Royals. They have booked their spot into the semifinal number 2, and now await the winner of the next game that we have between the Humber Hawks and the Durham Lords. Seneca in this one certainly were the dominant team in this one, showed up why they are 4th ranked nationally, and did come away with a 4-0 result. Redeemer did a really good job in the first half, keeping it at 0-0, but eventually Seneca just too strong for the Royals.
Seneca absolutely is a tournament favorite. They should be making it to the final. The fact that Redeemer was able to hold them off as long as they were, Redeemer needs to take something away from this match. They stuck to their game plan. They were really organized, disciplined, and I think they should hold their heads up high.
4-0 the final in this one. We will be awaiting the game MVP for both teams.
Final stats.
Both teams, please line up for the presentation of the Play of the Game Awards near the score table.
Final stats, Seneca scoring 4 goals off of 36 opportunities on net, which Redeemer really had to weather a couple of small spells in the game where it was opportunity after opportunity. Redeemer getting 5 good chances on the Seneca side. And the fact that they were able to hold such a powerhouse team to just 4 goals and scoreless for so long, it says a lot about how organized this team came and how prepared they were for the day.
Absolutely, and like you said before, Redeemer should hold their heads up high. Not a lot of teams have been able to weather the Seneca storm, and Redeemer did so in the first 45, just could not maintain that through 90 minutes. Seneca does come away for up 9.
Number 15, Elisa Van Veen.
Elisa Van Veen named the player of the game for Redeemer. Well deserved. Taking that right back position and not really anything doing on her side.
Carly Uttenberg.
And unsurprisingly, Carly Uttenberg of Seneca scoring 3 goals for the Sting, and a big-time difference maker for the Sting. And a big win by Seneca. 4-0 is the final. And a much-deserved win by the Seneca Sting, and the Redeemer Royals, the host, fall down just a little bit short in this one. And now Seneca await the winner of the next game between the Humber Hawks and the Durham Lords. That game coming to you in about a half hour. At 5:30, we will have that game for you here at Redeemer University College. We hope that you tune in for that one as well.